An 89-year-old Parker County woman has been swindled out of $10,000 by two men the sheriff's department says posed as workers for an electric company. The sheriff's department says the woman tried to stop payment on the check but missed the suspect at the bank by just 15 minutes. Fox Sports' Phil Alvarado is in our Fort Worth newsroom with more on how it all played out. Phil.
Heather, the two men that police are looking for are suspected in at least two other similar cases. Investigators say in this case, they apparently were testing the waters at a neighbor's house, but when they determined that they weren't going to be able to carry out the scam, they quickly moved on.
Lisa Bowen heard several hard raps at her door.
And then when I opened the door and went outside, he just seemed mad, and upset.
Because you weren't somebody
Because I wasn't somebody old is what I can figure out.
The Parker County Sheriff believes the man is Gregory Long. Investigators released this photo from his Missouri driver's license.
You saw the guy. Is this
right?
Is this who you saw?
Yes, sir, that's him.
Lisa Bowen says the man dressed in jeans and a shirt wearing a hard hat drove off with his accomplice, a man in his 20s. A couple of houses over, they found an 89-year-old woman sitting on her front porch and said to her,
"It's showing in our home office that you have a short in your house and that the house may catch on fire." Well, she just panicked.
The woman is Bowen's neighbor and good friend. The senior citizen is maintaining her privacy.
When you pick on older people or kids, it's some of the lowest that you can get.
The men produced frayed wires from the attic, blamed it on squirrels, and spent nearly an hour in the victim's house. Then Long presented her with a bill for almost $10,000. She knew something wasn't right.
She felt like she was in the house with somebody that was undesirable and that she was scared not to pay him.
She got scared, and just wanted him out of her house. I mean, they were intimidating her at that point,
One person on each side.
One person on each side of her, and asking her for a bank statement.
Notified of the scam, Tri-County, their real electric company, came out the next day.
The guys came in and checked the attic, and nothing had been done at the house.
What's even more disturbing, Bowen says Long called her friend 6 times the very next day, which was Friday, and kept calling through the weekend before he stopped.
She called me. She had answered the phone the first time, and the first thing he asked her was, "Are your lights brighter?" And she just hung up on him.
Now, why he called is not clear. Bowen thinks that it may have been just to try and get more money from her friend, who, by the way, turns 90 years old next month. Heather?
Yeah, just tormenting that victim. All right, so Phil, we know that Long is suspected of other scams. What are investigators saying about that?
Well, he's suspected of at least one other case in the Abilene area, something very similar to this. In that case, he took more than $5,000 from an 85-year-old woman. Another case with a twist in Garland that he's suspected of, he went up to a woman at her house and said, "Hey, I can fix your carport." She gave him almost $14,000 for materials. He went to go buy those, but that's the last time she saw him.
Oh, my gosh, that's just horrible. All right, Phil Alvarado, thank you.